We've identified a new asbestos-related disease, and we're figuring out ways to avoid it.
Her story lives on in each and every one of you.
Firefighters that have lost their lives, that have really put everything on the line.
The Labour Prosecutors Office is the agency in Brazil for the defense of the legal order, the democratic system, and the social and individual inalienable interests, as provided in the Brazilian Democratic Constitution of 1988. It is important to emphasize that the prosecuting service in Brazil is an extra institution, which means we are not part of the executive, legislative, or the judicial branches, being totally independent. The Labour Prosecutors Office works to correct the many labor anomalies. We do not act in straight defense of the working class, which must be done by the professional workers' trade unions. As members of the Prosecutor's Office, we must protect the labor legal and act against the ones who disrespect the Constitution and the labor laws. The Labour Prosecutor's Office has, among its objectives, the defense and a safe and healthy work environment, understood to be the places where workers perform their tasks, namely factories, industry, or office. To this end, it created the National Coordination for the Workplace Environment Protection to demand compliance with work health and safety rules and reduce the risk of work accidents. One of our projects is the Brazilian National Asbestos Eradication Program. As we know, Brazil is one of the biggest producers and consumers of asbestos around the globe. The only active mine in Brazil is in the city of Minasu, in the state of Goiás, with an estimated useful life of 28 years of economic exploration. The Brazilian state official position reproduces in its laws the thesis of the safe and controlled use of asbestos. A current national law allows the exploration of chrysotile asbestos, but the Supreme Federal Court questioned its constitutionality. Today, there are 6 Brazilian states with local laws prohibiting asbestos. By means of the Brazilian National Asbestos Eradication Program, we ratify the institutional position of the Labour Prosecutor's Office favoring the end of the asbestos use in Brazil. Our work seeks to stimulate more local and state laws to prohibit its use, as well as to make legally responsible those companies that have produced or still produce social liabilities by using asbestos. Recently, at the Labour Prosecutor's Office level as a whole, the purchase and the use of any product containing asbestos have been prohibited in works and renovations by means of an ordinance in 2013 by the Prosecutor General in place, Luis Camargo, who is here today. Excuse me, can you? It's not working.
It doesn't.
No. It happens. That's okay.
There's one more.
Yeah, that's it.
How far back?
Yeah, that's it.
That's okay.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you. Okay, our judicial performance looks at on companies of the industrial sector that use the chrysotile asbestos as raw material for construction products, such as roof tiles and water tanks. We also work against stores that sell products with asbestos and disrespect safety rules. The major example are two public civil lawsuits filed against the Eternit company in the cities of São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro in 2013 and 2014, respectively. Considering that the Eternit factory in São Paulo closed down in the 90s, the subject of São Paulo's lawsuit is the workers' post-dismissional medical control and the company's payment sentence for collective moral damage in the amount of $1 billion, about $350 million. This lawsuit still awaits judgment. In Rio de Janeiro lawsuits, we seek to correct anomalies found in the company's factory during an inspection made with our colleague, Fernanda Gianazzi, including a request of judicial interdiction on the service and equipment departments, besides post-dismissional medical aftercare. We also require that the judge determine the replacement of asbestos in the production process by another alternative raw material based on the Convention 162 of the International Labour Organization, as well as a sentence for collective moral damage in the same amount of $350 million. We have made a partial agreement with the company for the immediate correction of all anomalies in the factory, and we are now waiting the final decision for the other requests. Can you change, please? The notion of risks of human health by the use of asbestos drives the institutional work of the Labour Prosecutors Office concerning the ban of asbestos in Brazil. This has been our position since the beginning. It is an option made to defend life rather than death. And I would like to end with a poem by a Brazilian poet. He's called Thiago de Mello. And if the poem is not written for all of us, it is perfect to influence all of us. I'm going to try to translate, and he says, "We are no better or worse. We are equal. Better is our cause." Thank you so much.